Like, I had never had beef on a weather forecast in my life until that day. Well, somebody turned 17 recently, and I am here for all the chaos and all the storytelling behind the scenes. This made it my fifth birthday in Romania, and each and every one of them were different. The main point of this video is a little explanation of how I spent my birthday here in Romania, and yeah, what really went on, like the behind the scenes, the arrangements and so on. And as I walk you through this video, I'm also gonna explain some Romanian things that go on during birthdays, maybe the traditions, and maybe what you just expect at a Romanian birthday or celebration in some terms. So, first of all, invitations. Last year, I made the mistake of inviting people literally a week to my birthday, if not 5 days to my birthday. And mind you, that my birthday was exactly the day before Orthodox Easter, which is widely celebrated most importantly in Romania. So you could imagine, yeah. But fortunately for me, I have very sweet friends, very intentional friends who still manage to make it up. So a lot couldn't also come over. So when you're planning a birthday, obviously you gotta maybe invite maybe like at least 2 3 weeks before the whole thing. I made almost the same mistake this time around, but I gave out the invitations about 10 days, 9 days before the actual birthday. So then the planning phase. What really goes on in a Romanian birthday to begin with? In most Romanian birthdays, it is very, very normal, very natural to spend it, of course, with your relatives, with your friends, like birthdays all over the world, sorta. A lot of people choose to have it at their homes, especially outside, and Romanians are big on barbecue. Like in my life, I don't think I know people who love barbecue, like making barbecue more than Romanians. If it's Easter, barbecue. If it's Christmas, barbecue. That's if it's not too cold outside or snowing. If it's a birthday, that's the biggest advantage. One of the most common, if not the most common ways Romanians would love to spend their birthdays, and mostly outside, especially when it's summer or when it's warmer outside, like during the spring period and so on. I mean, Romanians can host barbecues a lot. And secondly, they also, if they want it bigger, of course, they celebrate at a restaurant. You make reservations. And here is one interesting fact about restaurants in Romania that I love so much, is that you have the opportunity in most restaurants to eat there normally. You give the cake to them, and they can sing happy birthday to you. Like, they can play the music, they can surprise you, like those sweet gestures. And in most restaurants, like every restaurant I have seen this, doesn't charge extra for it. So I don't know if it's a tradition or just something nice, maybe to promote the restaurants. But yeah, that is something I really like about birthdays in Romania, which are celebrated in restaurants, of course. Romanians can also decide to go on picnics, the nature, of course, for barbecue as well, because Romanians, if it's not at their home, is at the nature side. You can go for more modern ways and so on, an event hall. But the main, let's say, more traditional point of view kind of way in a Romanian household, an average Romanian household, to celebrate, it's usually a barbecue or a restaurant. But in my case, it had to be last minute at a restaurant. I made a group chat for everyone who was invited. Yeah, it was so chaotic because the Saturday's weather forecast kept playing games with me. Like, I had never had beef on a weather forecast in my life until that day. 1 minute is sunny, 1 minute is rainy at a certain time. And that is one thing about, hosting events and occasions and whatever in spring, especially April, where when the weather is fluctuating, you don't know if it's rainy today and then sunny tomorrow, like it's summer. Okay. So what happened is that I basically created a group, a 6-7 group, because I'm turning from 16 to 17 and whatever. We all agreed, and then last minute, I mean, we agreed to have a picnic. That was how I initially wanted to celebrate my birthday. Having it in a park, a really nice park with a nice lake where you can feed the fishes. You can take good pictures, make some little bead workshop, fun activities and stuff to remind us of our childhood, since it's basically my last birthday as a minor, and in the eyes of some people it's your last birthday as a child or whatever they think. We were gonna see at 3:30 p.m. at this park. Less than 24 hours to when we were supposed to meet. My parents were like, now look at the weather. What if it's like this? They had a point, obviously. I mean, we needed a plan B, but they kept changing and changing. And finally, they were like, okay, if we see that the weather is going to be bad in the morning, we're going to a restaurant close to us. And mind you, I had to pick my friends, so I needed to plan myself properly. Morning came, all I could do was pray, pray, pray that God would miraculously change the weather or give me grace, make me think, because as of this point I was almost crying my balls out. Sorry, I meant crying my eyeballs out, thinking that my day was about to be ruined because it's rainy. Mind that it was also the day before my birthday, because my birthday was on Sunday, and Sunday is the day before school, so I just had to do it on a Saturday. And fun fact, when it was Sunday, it was sunny as hell. Like, it was an amazing day on my actual birthday. But the day I decided to go out with my friends, hell no, the weather was not having me. It wasn't liking me. After meditating and hoping, this was 7 a.m., 8 a.m., I went and was like, you know what, just to be safe, we're going to the restaurant. I mean, for me, I was almost heartbroken because I had planned out activities at the park and so many ideas. Like, I had been planning this for about a month or two, the whole idea, but because of unstraightforward people I have around me sometimes, yeah, some things wearing, let's just say that not everything was on a straight line. Nothing was on a straight line to begin with. So I told my dad, yeah, we're going to the restaurant, because I had to make my choice to, have a reservation or something. I finally got an idea. I was like, you know what? We're gonna be safe and go to the restaurant. If the weather is still okay until then, we're going to the park. I mean, solid plan. Perfect. So we arrived at the restaurant and I had to go pick up my friends, which were 10, 15, 20. Yeah, about 20 minutes. Okay, I'm exaggerating. They were about 5 minutes late. They weren't that late. The weather was late, but what can I say? We enjoyed ourselves, ordered, played games. By the way, these restaurant experiences I'm mentioning are what I see in most Romanian restaurants. So take it in an educative way, about how restaurants are in Romania. Because I think the waiter was assigned specifically for us. When we called for a reservation, the lady on the phone was like, okay, wait, I'm gonna see if there is a waiter for y'all. I don't know if it's everywhere, but that was how it was, I guess. So yeah, they were really nice. They were really friendly. So after a lot of games and all that, it was time for the cutting of the cake. And this is also something that goes on in a restaurant. Like I earlier mentioned, they play music. La Yeah, so they were singing the La Multian song, the Romanian birthday song. Where I grew up in, let's just say that people expected you to kind of give them gifts on your birthday rather than they bringing gifts. I mean, it really depends on the kind of people you're surrounded by, because Yeah, that was just kind of the thing in Nigeria. Like, if you go to any event, you giving gifts to the celebrants was kind of optional, but they expected you to give them party favors. So, you, as a celebrant, you're the one giving presents. But when I came to Romania, I mean, I think this is more of a Western ideology or just everywhere else in the world, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I got a lot of presents, which I am deeply, deeply, deeply grateful for. And honestly, I was speechless. Yeah, I was speechless. I also need to mention that one tradition, one Romanian birthday tradition is sharing chocolates. If your birthday was also maybe the day before, like during the weekends, on Monday or Friday, if you have school or work, you can always share chocolates to your colleagues. So that is a huge tradition, like, to share sweets in Romania. And in return, when you're receiving gifts, sharing chocolates, or people just wishing you happy birthday, but mostly when you're giving something or they're giving you something, they kiss your cheeks, they give you a hug, kiss your cheeks at the side. And yeah, that was what they did. For 3 years in a row, I forgot to share my chocolates. I would bring them and forget about them. But this year, I said never ever, and I shared them finally. At last, the weather looked favorable at some point. It did rain, but it wasn't when we were ready to go to the park yet. But when we were ready, the weather was amazing. I mean, it did rain a little bit at the park, but that was like for a couple of seconds. Like, it was like really short showers, just drizzling. And we had a really nice time at the park, lots of pictures, did our little bead workshop, and so on. Of course, there are wishes. People wish you La Multian. I like to formate my own little wish. Normally, when I wish somebody something in Romanian, like happy birthday, instead of saying La Mult An, I say La Mult Ban, because in this economy, we need that. We need that sometimes. So I guess that's that for how I spent my birthday in Romania. The celebration aspect. The next day, I just, received messages, took some pictures, and that was actually it. One thing I forgot to mention, very important, is the cake. According to the bakery's website, they did mention that they take orders latest 4 days before the event. And I walked in there like last minutes, less than 48 hours before going out with my friends and family, and was like, "Is it too late for a customization?" And they were so chill and casual. It was like, "Yeah, show me what you got, what you want." And I did. And the price was okay, to my surprise. I mean, it was an aesthetic cake, but it's quite simple, with a meme and all that. But yeah, I highly recommend. Highly recommend it, yeah. So, all in all, what I can say about celebrating your birthday in Romania is that it's a wholesome experience. Like, it can be traditional when you have the right people around. It's just magical. It's like, yeah, you just need to have your world with you, I guess. And I once really mentioned the name of the restaurant and the name of the bakery, because obviously I am not promoting anything here for now. So this kind of the kind of experience you would see in a lot of birthdays which were planned, or events which were planned this way. But if y'all do want a list of recommendations for restaurants, in my city, Ploiești, I have. I can give a great list, restaurants with good prices, restaurants which are, yeah, maybe quiet, more reserved. So, for more information about, let's say, the stuff in Romania, occasions, where to go, where to see, where to visit, language, just name it, you can drop. Feel free to comment down below what you got in your mind. more video ideas. And if you have any more specific questions, my email is always available, but please don't spam me. So have an amazing day. And share this to that's your friend who wants to visit Romania. Peace.